Oh, hi. Today I'm going to help you record some solid audio. Whether it's for reading a poem or a children's book, we're going to make sure that we have some good audio when you record. So, the first thing we need to do is make sure we have a solid space to record. That could be in a closet, in your car, anywhere where there is some sound absorption. There are some great places in our Kalamazoo community where you can record as well. But for this particular project, you're probably just needing 5-10 minutes to record somewhere so you can get this turned in so we can do some really neat things with your audio. So, things to think about. You want to make sure that you're in a space that has curtains or blankets or towels, something where sound can be absorbed and not bounced off of. So, making a blanket fort in your room will totally work. Your closet will work. Your car will work. And it's a matter of just making sure you sound good and that there's not too many places where the sound can escape from. The other thing to think about is you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. Most of us have a smartphone that has an audio recording aspect to it. So just use that. The other thing to think about is that you don't have to do this all on the first take. You can have mistakes, you can have your ums and so's, and hopefully you've practiced so that there might not be as many of those. But when you hit a tongue twister or something like that, it doesn't mean you have to start all over. It just means that, oh, I'm going to have to take a pause and then I can keep going. So if you've practiced, you'll know where your hiccups will be, and that will be helpful. The other thing to think about is that this is not a race. So when you read, sometimes we think, oh, I just want to get this over with. The whole idea of these assignments that we're doing is that we want to be told a story. Whether it's a poem that you've written or whether it's one of your favorite children's books, you want us to have the audience engaged with what you're saying. So if you're just racing to the end, that doesn't make a really great, compelling listen. But if you have us excited by the way that you're inflecting your words and taking your time with it, we'll stick around till the end. All right, so let's have a little practice here of how to record and some things that will pop up. So I have this book here. We Do Not Eat Our Classmates. I think it's a pretty fun book. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I want us to hear about some of the hiccups and adventures that will happen when you go to record audio. So one thing is, when I open the book and I turn the pages, there's going to be sound. For a lot of the assignments that we are working on, we don't need the visual of us recording or us reading our stories or us telling our poems. We just want the audio. But we don't want to hear the sounds of pages turning and all that good stuff too while we're recording or while we're reading. So we want to be mindful of just our hand rubbing against the book or the paper or turning pages, that as we are doing this, that we have clean audio of our narration, that we can edit all those extra noises out. So if as soon as you go to start reading, a dog barks or a bus goes by, just take a breath and start that part again. You don't necessarily need to start from the very beginning, just normally from that line will work just fine. So I'm going to read you a story, just a little bit of it, and we're going to talk about how to have it at a good pace. Penelope Rex was very nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school. I have to turn the page, but before that, I'll show you the cute little picture of Penelope. Oh my goodness. And if you're just listening to the audio, there's so much stuff of noise of that page flip that you're like, oh, I don't necessarily want that. And that we can edit out. But if I kept reading and was just trying to race to the next spot, then it makes it too hard. What are my classmates going to be like? Will they be nice? How many teeth will they have? This was very important. And then there's her dad. I think that's her dad in the corner there. The other thing is, as I'm talking, I tend to talk a lot and fast. I want to make sure there's a good spot for me to have a break where I can cut my audio and then go back to the story. So if I was to edit this down, I would have a good space between when I'm just doing my banter and actually reading. Penelope, oh, I made a mistake. Knew it was going to happen. One reason why I picked this book. Penelope's mom bought her a new backpack with ponies on it. Ponies are Penelope's favorite because ponies are delicious. Penelope's dad packed her a lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. Oh, do you want to see that? Wait, there we go. And the backpack. All right. Extra noises that can be easily edited because I'm not reading the story. I've turned the page. I'm going to take a breath. Finally, the big day came. And Penelope Rex was very surprised to find out that all her classmates were... I'm not going to show you the picture that time. Children. So she ate them. And that's all I'm going to tell you about that. So the idea is that you want to make sure you're enticing your audience to want to know what's next. Making sure you're not racing through. If you make a mistake, take a breath. Just start again. No need to start from the very beginning. There's lots of ways that we can do simple edits to cut out the ums and the likes and the hiccups and the dog barks and all that good stuff. If when you are actually doing your reading, that there's nothing too exciting going on in the background. So hopefully this will be helpful. Find a closet, a pillow tent, a blanket tent, a car to go and record this in. There's some great places around downtown if you want to try out some of their fancy spots. Make sure your phone is charged to hit record. And good luck. I look forward to hearing your stories. Bye.